What's going on, guys? So our lure review this week is going to be on the 6 Cents Crush 50X Square Bill Crankbait. You can see we got two of them like we normally do. Very nice looking crankbait we have here. A few features I want to make sure I hit, so let's go ahead and take a up close look at it. Alright guys, so the 6 Cents Crush, as they call it, has, if you go to their website, they have two different styles. They have the 50X and then they have the 300DD. The 50X being this one, which is the square bill, and then they have the 300DD, which is the deep diving variety of the two. They only have one size, which is the 50X, and the dimensions on that are, it has a length of 2 1/4 inches, it has a weight of 3/8 of an ounce, and a diving depth of 2 to 5 feet, and it is a floating lure. It's a fast floating lure. One thing that I noticed about this bait, it actually says it right here on their website. It says engineered buoyancy, designed not to crash and deflect cover, but to back out quickly, reducing hangups. I noticed this before I even read that when I was out there fishing, that it floats very fast. You dive it, or you crank it down to its depth and it'll dive down. Doesn't have any issues floating down like normally when you have like a balsa bait that's they're known for their high buoyancy, like this Model B here by Bomber. They will float very, very well, but they don't dive very well, meaning that they don't get down to their desired depth very well unless you're cranking them really hard. Now this it's very buoyant, but it cranks down really, really easy. In fact, I was cranking it over the tops of weed beds, and I was trying to get it down to about 2 to 3 feet, and I was holding my rod tip way up in the air because of the fact that it was just diving too much and it was getting hung up in the weeds, and I was just trying to crawl it along the top of the weeds. So point being, it's a fast floating lure. It's very buoyant, but it's not hard to get it down to its desired depth. So go ahead and do this measurement, considering I always forget to do the measurement. This is a 2 1/4 inch long lure. If you measure it from the front without the ring to the back, it's about 2 5/16 of an inch, and then if you use the rings, it's 2 1/2 inch, and then if you use the bill, it's 2 3/4. So it's the 1.5 variety, that 1.5 size that I really have grown to love. Here's the Takahiro Omori versus the 6 Cents. You can see that this is the 1.5, and here's the 50X by 6 Cents. I'm showing you the Lucky Craft version because of how similar they really are, you guys. I mean, it's almost like they were cut from the same mold. If you look at the front of it, and I'm actually going to go ahead and throw the, get out of here, fly. And I'm actually going to go ahead and throw this, this Excalibur into the mix. You can see that they're all very, very similar. Let me focus on it a little bit. Got this fly buzzing all over me. The 50X seems to be a little bit fatter than the other two, but they're all so very similar. I mean, down to the bills, all the bills look almost identical. So there's that. The one thing that I like about the other than the fast floating, the other thing that I like about these baits are these paint jobs. Very obvious, right? They have these beautiful looking paint jobs, and they're highly realistic. They look kind of like the Copper's Live Target in the respect that they have so much detail in the paint jobs. Normally you pay a lot for this much detail, and when I bought these baits, because I saw the price point was only $8 at Tackle Warehouse, I really thought that there had to be a catch with the paint jobs, that maybe that they were going to chip easy or something, but they really don't. I fished with both of these for 2 days straight, and there's not a defect in the paint job at all. There's not even a little scratch from the hooks or anything like that at all. They're both in excellent shape. This is the live baby bluegill. Yeah, live baby bluegill. You can see this has got the orange throat with this off-color white belly, the bronze stripes, and it's got the bluegill, which is black, and it's got the green olive back. You can say that this says 6 cents right there. But live baby bluegill, guys, really nice looking bait. And then the next one, the way I was doing my fishing with these guys was I would fish with the live baby bluegill for most of the day, and then I would jump to the ballistic sunfish when the sun started going down. So towards the evening time, I would jump to the ballistic sunfish, which is a little bit brighter. Kind of looks like still that same bluegill pattern or sunfish, what have you. But it also can double as that crawdad finish because it's kind of got that orangey red that you're gonna look for in a crawdad pattern as well. So you got the black back, you got the black stripes, kind of a yellow towards the bottom of the profile here, and then an orange on the top of the profile, and then it's also got the white belly and a light orange throat, not like that deep orange throat on this one. So there's ballistic sunfish. So really nice crankbaits. I know that $8 is a really great price point. I know that these crankbaits have been out for a little while now. They have a cult following. If you look for them on the internet, you've been able to find them for a while. Tackle Warehouse just got them. I know that I was happy to see them. I'd never owned them before, but they're one of my favorite crankbaits now because they're just like the Lucky Craft version, which is just like the Excalibur version, but they have nicer paint jobs, and they're less expensive than the Lucky Crafts, which is awesome. So one thing that I also notice about these, they have these Bmc hooks on them, which are nice. And just so I can point this out, you can see it's also got the oval split ring on it, and it also has the 3D eyes on them. They all have the red sclera. They have 14 colors. They're all opaque colors, which is why we don't have any transparent colors here, because they didn't have any. They don't make any, but that's okay. But they're all opaque colors, so that you can't see through any of the colors. They're all solid colors. So, but as far as back to the hooks that I was telling you about, you can see the split ring on the bottom. It's got a flat wire split ring on it, so you can see the facet on it, and then it's got the VMC hooks. So very sharp, black nickel plated. Won't be replacing these. They're really nice. But you can see that the front hook on this one is bigger than the one on the back, which is, I think that's what, when you buy this bait, that's what you're going to get. I would bet 9 times out of 10 that's probably what you're going to get. And I probably got that 1 time out of 10 that you've got 2 of the same size hooks. I'm thinking that probably got passed by their QC, and they sent it out with 2 of the same size hooks. That doesn't bother me at all. I have a lot of baits that have 2 of the same size hooks, as far as the rear treble being the same size as the front treble, so that doesn't bother me at all. So anyway, 6 cents lures, you guys. Really nice looking crankbaits. Oh yeah, it also has a rattle in it. Don't let me forget to mention that. You can hear it has this, they call it a faint rattle chamber, resonates light knocking sounds that provoke strikes without spooking finicky fish. Sounds like it's just that ball that's down here in the ballast chamber that's just rattling from side to side. It's not a rattle that's back up in here in the main body cavity of the bait. Not like the Rick Clun or anything like that that has that really loud knocking sound in it. So just that light knocking sound from side to side. It's not really that noisy. So and also the buoyancy part, I mean, I think that's something that should be involved in a lot of square bill crankbaits, just because of the fact that when you are cruising these things down, that buoyancy, when you running into something and you feel like you're going to hang up, you just let off the crank and put a little bit of slack in the line, and this thing will float right up and out of the way of the snag that you might be getting yourself into. So the buoyancy part of baits, which is probably why a lot of people like balsa baits for square bill crankbaits, is because they're so buoyant. I think that's something that should be paid attention to a little bit more, just because of the fact that it will help you get out of a lot of snags. So 6 cents Crush 50X. Really enjoy these crankbaits. Hopefully I can pick up some more of 6 cents stuff that they have out there, because I've been very impressed with what they have here. They have the Crush 300 DD, it looks like, is another hard bait that they have. So I might have to pick that up when we start doing deep diving crankbaits. So check it out, 6 cents products. You can go to their website at 6centslures.com, and you can also check them out at Tackle Warehouse, $7.99. You guys, you can't beat that. Great finishes. They got 14 different colors. Check it out. And I don't know what we're going to do next week as far as the lure review is concerned. We might do the Aska, or I've been fishing a lot with this one lately, the Rapala Clack and Crank. I don't know which one we're going to do next, so maybe one of those two. So thanks for watching, you guys. Can you go ahead and like the video if you liked it? I really appreciate that, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.